And we're live. Today, accompanying me on the B Team podcast, Vincent Farley, ladies and gentlemen.
Glad to be here.
Holla. All right. Let's let some folks get piled in here. I'll move this over real quick. Now, for some of you guys that don't know Vincent Farley, he's a near and dear friend of mine for many, many years.
Been a while.
He's also the reigning champ of our Monday Night Race League.
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4.
If there's anyone that would like to join the race league, I'm not going to disclose my address, but you can hit me up on the messenger, and it's a $10 buy-in on Mondays. It's Gran Turismo, and we've got the virtual reality headset, the PSVR. It's on PlayStation 4, obviously. Wheel, pedals, shifter,
Fan.
Gotta
have the fan.
the fan, and headset. It is extremely difficult, and anyone that thinks that they can step up to the plate against this man, come donate.
And this man, 3 out of 4, and you've got one.
Come donate your $10. We're ready.
Handicaps are getting real.
Yeah.
We're letting everybody get to know the car and the track before, unless you won the previous week.
Yeah, right.
Everyone get to know the car and the track ahead of time.
Yeah, and man, so he came up with a great idea too. I think. Now, don't ruin this shit for me in the comments, but I haven't seen Ford versus Ferrari, and I don't think you have either, right?
No.
So this week we're coming up with we're going to race the Ford GT40, and then we're going to race that against the Ferrari. I'm not sure what Ferrari it is. Do you know?
It's an old one.
Yeah, they're both old, like 1967, I think.
Yeah.
But so we're going to race those cars. We'll race the Ford this week and the Ferrari next week, and then go see the movie.
Same tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, same track. And it's wildly difficult racing 1967 anything.
Yeah.
Because you got like this old steering wheel that's like driving a bus, and then like in the game it feels so real.
Body roll.
Yeah, there's a ton of body roll.
Grip.
And like
Terrible.
Yeah, there's none of that.
Yeah.
And there's this one track that we were just racing downstairs a minute ago. The guys are still down there right now practicing, but there's this one where there's this lip coming up out of this tunnel. I don't know if you've played this track or not, but you jump it. And in the car, that old thing is like, yeah, and you can tell that like there's just nothing there.
Yeah.
It's just open, man.
Yeah.
That game's so much fun though. And it's a lot of fun getting everybody here to play it. And on top of that, it gets like super competitive because we have like 10 people.
Yeah.
There's probably 10 people last weekend,
Yeah.
wasn't there?
Yeah. It's getting bigger, really. It is.
Yeah, and it's so much fun, and just seeing everyone, like, because everyone's a pretty good sport about it, even when they lose. It's like, well, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a blast.
Derek, last week,
Derek
almost came in for the win.
Yeah,
1/10 of a second off.
Yeah, so that's what's nuts. The tracks that we're racing are, I would say, fairly long. They're like what? That one was like a 3 mile.
Yeah, it was like about 2 minutes. Yeah, they're a little over 2 minutes long per lap.
Yeah, and it's like a back and forth, left and right, every which way. So you'd figure there would be plenty of time to shave off.
Right.
And then we're still all within
a second at least.
Yeah.
Second, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Some of them are less experienced guys. I mean, they're down in 5 seconds, but like Drew, I mean, he's came quite a long ways from his first race.
Yeah, and letting people practice, and it's hilarious watching. So Derek's got the headset on, and it's on my Snapchat story for any of you guys that have me on Snapchat, but he's got the headset on and the earphones. I grabbed the controller when he wasn't paying attention. He can't see me. I'm watching on the projector and just seeing him coming into this corner. I just lock the brakes up and
if you're gonna watch it on your phone, hold your phone like this, because you might spit a little bit like I did. And it just goes all over your phone.
Oh man, yeah, it's been so much fun though. And Vinny, like a pro, you probably have more skin in the game than I do. We upgraded to the PS4 thanks to this man.
Yeah.
Holla, if you got a PSVR and you're thinking about getting a PlayStation Pro, it's way worth it, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, PS5 coming out next year, maybe the year and a half.
I think it's next year, next December, I believe.
Yeah. And like we've thought, the wheel and stuff, that's all going to be updated. And I think we've got a pretty good group of guys. We may be able to really go in on this and that and be able to get a really nice setup, even way better than this now. And right now it's like we've had a couple older guys come in and play, and they're just blown away.
Yeah.
Like this is like nothing I've ever seen, and like for us, it feels like we're really there. But for guys who have never even looked at, a PlayStation game, played a racing game, especially like Gran Turismo that looks top tier
and feels.
of all the games. And then, to have them get in there and they're blown away.
Yeah. The game is so insane on how real it is. Well, one, I put my grandpa in it, and he smashed into the wall and threw his hands up and yelled, "Ah!" But it feels so real. Even like the controller or the steering wheel, I mean, it has force feedback. So for the people that are just listening, like if you can picture the steering wheel in front of you, if you're coming around a left-hand turn and you grab the wheel and you turn left, well, there's going to be a little bit of a fight against you, like turning right. And so you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the brakes aren't like the old arcade games where you just push the pedal to the floor. It has like
touch sensitive.
Yeah, it's got like a lot of resistance against it.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't just floor it down. It's just like, it's so nuts.
That's what the fan is for. We raced the first time without the fan, and we were all drenched in sweat. And still even after the fans, I mean, you get done, you're like,
arms,
and you're shaking, and
Yeah, I remember I felt like such a sissy because after the first time that we played, essentially you're racing for money. And so even though it's not much, you're still like, I'm going to win.
Right.
For sure. And me and you especially have always been super competitive about anything.
Yeah.
But so it's like,
remember not to interrupt. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You're good. You're good.
Remember the pit bike and the X Factor jump at the top of your hill. Yeah. You're like, okay, I'm gonna see what I can do here.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, dude, let's go.
Let's get it.
Got even further. You got a little bit further. I started back by the garage and pinned it. And then show's over. Pegs started coming off. Sparks flying. Made it to the bottom of the hill.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Probably my best memory of us being stupid competitive is the skates. Where we go, the great. It was great skates.
Yeah.
We go to this like skating rink, and he's like, I can do more tricks than you.
Don't do that.
We're on rollerblades. They were the blades, right? The inlines.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, so we had the roller blades on, and he's doing like a jump. Would you do like a jump and a spin, like a half spin, like a 180?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, I can do a 360. And so I get hauling ass across this skating rink. This place is packed. There's a million people there. It genius me. I'm like, I'm gonna jump up and I'm gonna knock out 360 easy.
Yeah.
This is easy. No, I come down my front right wheel hit, and like if you ever been on rollerblades, you know how like if you get one wheel on, it's just like every which way. Well, that's what happened to my one wheel as I come back around, and then both feet just went straight out from underneath me. And I was like horizontal in the ground, come down, smashed onto the floor so hard. I chewed at the time. I had a chew can blow through my pocket.
Yeah. I remember that,
it broke the chew can.
Yeah.
It's
for some reason, when I was a kid, you get hauling ass and you think, for some reason, it's what I remember. You're hauling ass as a kid, you fall, you kind of slide, good to go.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. That's what I remembered. Whether you weigh more now or what,
dude.
But we're like, all right, it's time to get some speed.
Yeah,
hauling ass around the place, start losing it, fall, bust your ass, and you just grip.
Dude, it's over.
Just grip.
It's over. Yeah, and I don't know. I think it is like part of it because like weighing more, maybe because I went skateboarding. No, probably 6 months ago, maybe even less than that, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna knock this board slide out. I mean, I skateboarded for years, and I did a board slide, and it was like, it was like riding a bike. I nailed it, and I felt good about it. And I went back to do it again. Board stuck on the rail. I smashed my face onto the ground, and I broke my finger, just like that. Like there was no catching it. I couldn't. Like it just didn't happen. I was like, yeah, I'm too old for this shit.
Do you have what's the most? I mean, I rode bikes as a kid. That was our thing. I mean, we always had the Walmart specials.
Yeah.
We didn't have much.
Right.
We put some miles on Mongoose, Huffy.
Yeah.
Still today, my favorite bike of all time is a Huffy trimmer. Haven't seen it. Maybe you owned it. Look it up. They were the best. But what's one of your give me two, maybe if you can, some memorable wipeouts that you had
on a bike,
on a skateboard.
Dude, this is
what do you got?
It's super embarrassing. But so do you remember Joey's Jumps in Williamsport? Did you ever go to that?
I don't think so. No, we were out in the country. We were sometimes riding to town and hang out down at the ball field. But
Well, Joey's Jumps was this place behind the back behind the hospital, and dude, they were legit jumps. Like they were like built in my mind, which is
built
probably
by pros.
Yeah, which is like pretty distorted.
Get the foot out.
After
scrape it up, get the groove.
It was like a BMX track though, and there was like legit doubles, and like there was a couple flatties, but they were mostly. I think they were mostly tabletop jumps, but I remember for sure that there was one double, and no one in my friends group had hit it. And Jake was with me, Jake Honecker. If you're watching, Jake, I know you remember this because we talk about it frequently. But he's like, dude, hit that double. I'm like, all right. So I come around this big berm, and I'm like, shit, probably maybe 6 or 7 at the time. And I come flying around the berm, and I'm like, all right, I got it. And I remember I was just taking a test run to make sure I had enough speed. And so there was like a cutoff, so I hit the cutoff. And I was like, do I have it? He goes, oh, yeah. And later I found out, dude, you definitely didn't have it. And I knew you didn't have it. I'm like, damn, dude. So I come flying around this damn thing and launch this double on this bike. Now, if you can picture what a double is one jump mirrored by another jump, so it's like the exact same size, and then there's nothing in between. So there's 2 jumps, and then if you come up short, you're going to clip the front of the other ramp,
and the gap can get ridiculous.
Yeah,
in between the two. I mean, yeah,
yeah. So I hit this thing, dude. I'm not even close. Front tire clips the front of the lander. I go over the bars. I blew my nuts out on the handlebars, and I started crying. I had to go home. And I had to have my mom like help, I was like, Mom, I hit my nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But that's probably like the worst one. Maybe not so much me as a wreck, but I do remember another neighborhood kid. We had this jump out here. I grew up in this house, for those of you that know. Anyways, there's like this jump on the side of the house, the one over here.
Oh yeah.
And a buddy came flying around. He's like, I can get more air on that than you guys can. We're like, yeah, right. Dude comes around, chain falls off right before he hits it, blows his nuts out right in the center, and eats shit into the
Pedaling
ditch.
hard.
Oh yeah, dude. He was really gunning for that ramp, and it did not happen. He cried and went home too. Seemed to be a pretty common thing. What about you? You got any solid wipeouts?
I've got 2. Well, I've got more, but the two that stick out the most. At my mom's house, we have this really long driveway. It's probably, I would say, 60, 70 yards long, probably 60 yards long, something like that. And I don't remember where these pieces of wood came from, but it was like a box, and it was 2x4s made a square, and then there was a piece of plywood on top, and there was like 5 or 6 of them. Well, let's start out with 2. Put 2 down.
Yeah.
Put a piece of plywood on it. You got a little spring.
Right.
A little spring back. And hit it. All right, let's go a little higher.
Yeah.
Got, I don't know. We got like 4 or 5 tall, maybe like that.
Oh, yeah.
Started hitting it pretty good. And now it's time to go to the end of the driveway. Pedaling. Hit it. Landed. We had a small landing point. Overshot that by a mile. Landed on dirt and bounced off the dirt.
Oh, so it was a real hit.
And went sideways, and then hit on my side, rolled a little bit, and my brother was at the end of the driveway getting ready to go.
Yeah.
And I just lay there for a second, stuck my thumb up, good to go. That one hurt pretty bad.
Yeah.
The other one is on one of our long bike rides. Went on a huge lap. It was probably a 5-6 mile thing, and me and a couple of my cousins were riding, and it was on the old Huffy trimmer.
Oh yeah,
old reliable. And
was that the silver? I know.
Yeah, it was all chrome.
Yeah,
the whole thing was chrome, and it had a bigger front tire, smaller back tire.
I had that. Mine had green grips. Yours have green?
Mine were black.
Black.
You could beat the shit out of that bike,
dude. Yeah,
really. And
mine got stolen, bruh. You steal it?
I didn't have
steal it.
Got mine brand new for probably $45, dude. But she had some miles on her about this point. No stickers were on it, about that age.
Yeah.
And pedaling real hard, getting ready to come up to my grandma's place about the end of the ride, and was going real hard. The chain had started falling off here and there. Thought I had it fixed. I mean, probably some alignment issues. Maybe the sprocket was a little bent, whatever. But I was going hard, and on one of the pedals, man, it came off, and the sprocket went up into the back of my leg.
Oh.
And then I went over the handlebars and landed on the back of my head and my shoulder.
Damn.
Scuffed that.
Really wiped you out.
Bleeding pretty good. I don't know if I cried. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But I was pretty. If I could shave my leg and see all the scars on it, man. It's
dude. Remember
my legs are covered in scars.
The metal pedals blasting you in the shins
in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And it just comes right back.
Dude, that used to, I would get so pissed. I would be legit. Yeah. It's like, I'm done, dude. I'm going home. This is really pissing me off.
The worst.
Yeah.
That was the worst. And then there were those, like, on most of my bikes, I had the metal pedals with, and it had tiny little like little things on it. But then there were the real aggressive ones that had the teeth, the angled teeth, you know. I never got one of those for the shin, but
no, I know what ones you're talking about. Yeah, those were terrible.
Engineers,
man.
Oh, these will be perfect.
Feet ain't coming off these, partner. Wrong. Yeah, dude. What about man? You want to talk about like nostalgic toys? What about a Razor scooter? You ever have a Razor scooter?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, we didn't have the. I didn't have the name.
Razor.
I had the Micro.
Yeah.
Did you have the Micro?
I don't remember what brand it was, but it wasn't the Razor.
Did yours have I always wanted the one with the wheelie bar. I never had that. Did you have the wheelie bar?
I think the little bullshit thing.
Yeah, like a little spoiler on the back.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember Marcus. He got hauling ass on mine down. I just got it. I wanted the green wheels. Green's my favorite color.
Mm-hmm.
Got the ones with green wheels. Was stoked, dude. I hadn't had this thing. Probably hadn't had it 24 hours. He's like, let me ride that. I'm like, all right. Yeah, Marcus, big dude. He gets hauling ass down the hill, locks up the old e-brake on the back, flat spot, dude. It was like, it was like I was driving at a stop sign on the back wheel, dude. Oh, it used to piss me off so bad. Yeah. I know it's blurry, folks. It'll be better quality once it's live or once it's uploaded from live. People are saying that it's still blurry. I know.
Yeah, we put some miles on ours, out towards.
On the scooter.
Yeah.
On the scooter. Yeah.
Out towards Troy's place.
Yeah.
That big ass hill that goes over Shawnee Creek. Like
yeah.
Creek.
I know, yeah.
Bridge. We used to
take sand at the bottom.
You had to push the handlebars all the way down.
Yeah.
Get down. And we would haul ass across that thing.
No shit,
hill,
yeah.
Yeah. We made it all the way to town and stuff.
Dude, you guys are putting miles on the micros.
Yeah, dude. If you live out in the country, you just hang out with you and your. And it was me and my cousin, both my cousins. I mean, we just put miles and miles on our bikes and that stuff. But we made it into the tennis courts here in town and was just doing laps around the tennis courts.
You get them things cooking on
and
this.
Wore a nice 45. I mean, the tires were, and they were
had chicken strips on the scooters.
Yeah, we found out that there was different strength, I guess, of the tires because some of them that we had to switch them out because they got real gummy and you couldn't pedal, like they were like mushy from being on that tennis court and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
You had to switch to the really hard ones.
Get the aggressive like a rollerblade wheel.
Yeah.
But
you try to pedal them and it's wearing you out because they're just like mush.
Pushing marshmallows around. What about did you ever have rollerblades? I bet you was a rollerblader.
Yeah, I did for a little bit when I lived just a town over. I had a good wipeout on there.
On the blades?
Yeah, I went to the gas station, get a pop or something. I was probably 8, 9.
Did you rock the blade? You rock the blades into the store? Or you take them off?
Oh, probably. No, hell, I wasn't carrying shoes with me.
Maybe you was in the socks.
Right in the store. Right in the store with them. But
I'd have kicked you out.
Get out
of my store.
I went and got something and was heading back to the house. Got close to the house. Time to kick it in gear. Let's see what we can do. Out they came.
Did you dump the fountain pop?
I don't remember what I had, but out they came, man, on pavement.
Really?
On the tailbone.
Damn.
Yeah, and I can still feel that feeling that up the back and you just got to sit there for a minute.
Knocks the wind out of you. You can't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I've wrecked a lot of mopeds in my day, but me and Brandon, we were we were probably 13, 14 maybe. We had this Yamaha Raz. This is an old piece of shit moped. This thing's like a 1980 something moped, and it didn't have a shutoff valve for the fuel, so we carried a pair of vice grips around with us. So every time we got out, we would, we'd double dick around on this bed, and I would sit on the back. He'd cruise it around, and then I'd get off, and it was always my duty.
You'd get off of the moped.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, my bad.
I was real happy to be there, brother. But it was always my duty to shut the fuel off. So I'd have to get out, pinch the fuel line, and then hit her with the vice grips. And we had the vice grips set, so it's pretty simple. This dude gets off one day and off the moped.
Got it.
Yeah. Clear that up.
Good now. Yeah.
He gets off the ped and he's like, I got the gas, and for whatever reason he was dicking around with it, and so he pinches the line. We're on our way to school, and we had to go. We stopped by Pomida for something. I can't remember. It was Pomida at the time. And he's like, I'm going to crimp the fuel line off, whatever. Dude rips the whole line off the tank, and gas is pouring all over everything. All over him, all over the hot motor. I'm like, this thing's going to catch on fire. And he's like level 35 pissed at this point, and he's like trying to finagle it back on while it's dumping gas everywhere.
Covered in gas.
Yeah. And then we were already late to school, and he was going to get in trouble. So he had to go to school, dude, smelling like gas all day.
Yeah. I went to school one time, smelled like my feet smelled like, they just smelled like they had kerosene on them. My boots.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I did and why I thought they were okay to wear to school the next day, but I didn't think it was that intense. But when I got to school, my eyes,
burned,
sitting around their eyes. So the kid next to me was telling the teacher, "Hey, he's got to get out of here, man. This my eyes burned.
I can't see."
I was embarrassed as hell.
Dude. Were you? Yeah, was you embarrassed?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Probably just took those home and covered them the rest of the day in kerosene and
burn them.
Yeah.
Burn them, man, dude. I can tell you what. I used to miss kind of being embarrassed in school, even if it was me. Like just the old days of like, damn, man, I shouldn't have done. Like, I mean, it's just that day right there. Like we both stunk like gas, and it was like, people were like, kind of stinks in here, and you're just like.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Where's that from? Where's that coming from?
Yeah. And I remember another time too. So while this was the same moped, actually, we leave out of school. And, like we'd been told by, of course, everybody at the school, don't be riding that piece of shit here. All the cops, they were definitely watching for us because we were two kids riding on a piece of shit moped. There's like a single seat deal. They weren't having it. And, so we used to ride it like through alleys everywhere. And I told him, I was like, dude, let me drive this thing. And like we kind of switched off, but it was like kind of more like a Bo and Luke Duke. So like he was the primary driver, but every now and then I would drive. So like I didn't take it lightly. So when I wanted to drive, it's time to send this son of a bitch. So we're coming out of the high school parking lot at about 3,000 miles an hour on this piece of shit moped. Blow the stop sign right there. You know how that yard is?
Yeah.
The little jump deal.
Yeah.
No, oh yeah, we're hitting that. And so, dude, no slowing down, no nothing. Brandon reaches up over the top of my hand, starts smashing my fingers with the brake levers. Dude, it causes me to lose it in the air. And I'm not kidding. We just jumped, and it was like this. And somehow we got to like just perfectly sideways. Tire one didn't hit the ground. We just slammed the dirt.
Yeah. It
blows the wind out of him. He had the helmet on. And so I didn't have a helmet. Somehow that did a little more damage because he's beating and banging his head around. I had just enough to keep my head up.
Yeah.
He was pissed, and I didn't get to drive the ped for a long time after that. I'm still kind of upset about it, to be honest. Yeah. You didn't have a ped, did you? You have a ped?
No, I had quite a few motorcycles though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had my first one was like a 1964 5 Suzuki Gopher.
Oh yeah.
The name on the side,
I know
the badge was
yeah.
It had a Gopher, and then it was Go/Fur.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that had the little grippies for your legs up on the tank.
No, ours didn't.
Did not.
No.
Okay.
It had street tires, 100cc engine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And no, like we were 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And we weren't riding on the road. So we're turning this 60s. I mean, it was in cherry condition when we got it.
Oh,
it wasn't
no.
bad. I don't know. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And thinking back now, like, I mean, it was probably a pretty decent bike, but we destroyed the hell out of that thing.
Could you ride a wheelie on it?
Oh, well, we'll get there. we started this was the bike I learned how to ride on. Starting first gear, can't shift yet. You can just take off. Wrapping her out. Just going down to the neighbor's house, coming back first gear, just
pegged.
Yeah. And then we had this little thing on the side. It was like a little small hill. I mean, probably, I don't know, a foot tall, if that.
Yeah.
And started learning how to shift and stuff, and we would get off in the grass and hit that thing.
Yeah.
And bottom her out.
Yeah.
You know, turn around, come back, hit it, bottom it out. Eventually, the front pegs came off.
Oh, yeah, I know how that goes.
There were no more front pegs, so we got to move our feet to the back.
And now you got a real street setup.
You're leaning in her.
Yeah.
We got all this weight on the back, though, and now we can start pulling some wheelies.
Oh.
And
were you on gravel? Or?
No, there was gravel, and there was a small, just like in front of some house, they've got those pavement patches for the dust and shit, you know. So we had pavement and stuff.
So you got 6 foot asphalt and some dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those pegs turned, you know, almost straight up and down from horizontal. They were almost, you know, straight up and down.
Right.
And my brother, I think there's probably 4 or 5 of us that was riding it, and 3 out of the 5 got a major exhaust burn because it would fall. You'd fall over on the grass.
Oh, the bike falls.
Sit there,
yeah,
and burn your leg. You can't get it off. Too little, you know.
Yeah.
We'd ride doubles on it and stuff. I remember coming into my cousin's house one time, going up to the shed where we used to hang out and stuff, and coming there on the street tires, some wet grass, pulling the front brake, down she went. Handlebars are jacked.
Front locks up. It's a wrap.
Yeah. She was pretty ragged out by the time we were done with it. Yeah.
Fork seals blown out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, man, that's hilarious though. I can think of I think it was what was it? It's like a Suzuki JR50.
Mm-hmm.
Had one of those growing up. And I remember my dad's always like, "You can't start it. You can't fucking ride it." Mm-hmm. He's all dead serious.
Yeah.
So I remember I'd have to like lean this thing up against this. They had this like rock wall, and it was like 2.5 foot tall, and I'd have to get up on the wall and then like kind of hike my foot over it, and then flip the kickstart out, and I'd have to jump up and then like land down on it. I'm a little bitty kid, and every now and then you could get it, and I'd get it started, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can ride it now. And then Dad would come out there, "What are you doing riding the damn dirt bike?" Like, because I didn't tell him, I was just out there trying to get started, and he'd get all pissed off at me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We had
we wrecked it into your granny's house, is what Ryan says.
Oh yeah, probably.
Hit wet grass.
Yeah.
I'll contest
that. He was probably the one. It was probably Ryan that was on there with me. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he said
it was into the shed.
Remember the jumps that you pulled out of jumping dude in a wheelbarrow on top of a tabletop?
Oh man? Yeah, bicycle dude.
Yeah.
I was always the one pushing the limit, man.
What'd you do? You jumped
Ryan had this dirt mound in his backyard, and it was decent, dude. I mean, it's probably 5 foot tall.
Do you think it was really 5 foot tall? Or you think that's how you
standing next? I mean, I wouldn't stand next to it. I bet it was 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
And I'd hit it and come back down the other side.
Yeah.
Hit it and come back down the other side.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's see what
I can put up on top.
Yeah. And put the wheelbarrow up there. Got over it.
Yeah.
And then put a person in there.
In the wheelbarrow.
Crouched over it. Person in there, standing up.
No way.
Pedal up over them, man.
No shit.
It was Scott Payne. Scott Payne was the one in there. Yeah.
Holla, Scott Payne. Scott Payne always did a bunch of dumb shit with me too.
Yeah.
We used to have the Barbie Jeep deal. Like we'd have a race from the top of the hill.
Oh, dude.
Man. And so what we would do, we really figured this out, and we took it to the extreme. So Jake in machine trades made this wide axle for the rear.
Nice.
And this axle was huge. Like it was, hell, it would probably be every bit of this wide before the start of the tires. So the back had a shitload of travel, like between like the body and the axle, like it would free slide on there. And then on the fronts, took a sprint car tire, which is super soft compound. Like you could cut it with a razor pretty easy. And then we lapped it around the front tire, put drywall screws in it, and then hit the other one. So it had all the traction in the world up front. And, that thing was drifty. Yeah, drifty. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, man, we had a hell of a time with that thing. Brink says, tell us about your R6.
The R6. Well,
allegedly.
I was 17.
Oh, that's the R6.
Yeah.
Damn. Hate to bring that one up.
I had it for about a month. It was a 2006 R6, and
Did you buy that brand new? You bought that brand new?
Brand new, yeah. I had like 0.3 miles on it.
And you're still in high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And worked down at the ice plant, and within that month, I didn't know anything like about a putting a kickstand down on some asphalt.
Oh, about it sinking.
Didn't know that it was a thing. And there was a dumpster right next to it.
Oh,
kickstand down, boom, right into it.
Yeah,
scuffed it all up and shit.
Brand new bike.
Yeah. Everybody always wanted to ride it. Oh yeah, sure, man, hop on, you can ride it. 17.
All your buddies are gonna want to ride that thing.
Yeah, sure, man, go ahead. And I was like, starting to cut down on, there about the end of the month. I put like 2,400 miles on it in a month.
Oh wow,
always on it, always on it.
Yeah.
And
were you riding reckless or just cruising it over?
I used to back on one of my other bikes, maybe that bike as well.
Yeah.
On one of the bikes, I had a page and a half on Attica Online
of complaints.
Yeah, parents just go. And I took on that one. It was
I forgot about Attica Online.
It was a can of tuna. A Suzuki Katana, 750.
Yeah.
And I took the exhaust off, so it was a straight header. Oh. Man, was that loud! I would do wheelies up and down Perry Street and stuff, man.
Oh yeah, the Attica Online was just booming.
Parents
were pissed,
and just getting on it, in town and stuff. And
yeah.
Parents would say their kids would cover their ears and cry and stuff. Man, it was bad.
Oh,
I was young and stupid.
Yeah.
But the R6. To continue on with the R6, one of my buddies, Keith Routson, he said, "Hey man, you want me to ride it?" I was like, dude. He's like, "I'll give you a full tank of gas." I was empty.
Yeah.
17.
Right. So that's probably
paying a heller payment.
Yeah.
And insurance.
Yeah.
On this bike.
Right. So that probably meant a month. Like that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, especially for an R6 too. I mean, it's
big tank.
30, 40 miles to the gallon. I mean, if you're getting on it,
Right.
But I was like, yeah, sure. Gets on, goes for a little ride. Takes him a minute to get back, and his girlfriend shows up, and she's kind of frantic. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no.
So we get in her car and go up to the grade school.
So you already knew, like, it's been wrecked at this point.
I knew something was up
because I've actually never heard this story.
Why is she here and telling me, hey?
Oh, he called her, said go there.
Yeah. So she came pick me up because I didn't have any transportation.
Right, dude's on the bike.
And apparently he came up to an intersection by the grade school, got on it, and it came up and then came back down, and then he fell off.
Oh,
the
shit.
Bike he probably wasn't going very fast. Bike coasted for a second, fell over, full tank of gas that he just put in it for me.
Oh.
Sparked on the tank. This never happens. Sparked on the tank, caught on fire, flames over the grade school, burnt to a crisp.
What?
I showed up there and this thing's burning, dude. I was like, what the fuck? I was started tearing up and
you were crying,
dude.
I bet. Yeah.
Pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, this is my, I was like, I've waited so long. I was only 17, waited so long, bullshit, whatever. But
yeah.
I was pissed that,
Yeah, you probably, I mean, at that point, you waited all your life.
Yeah, yeah.
100% of your life waited on that thing.
And I got insurance on it that day.
Mm.
And the $13,000 loan was covered.
Really?
Yeah, because it was my primary mode of transportation.
No shit.
Yeah.
So what did you do after that? Did you just get another one? Or?
That's probably when I got the Katana.
Yeah.
After that.
Dude, that is insane. So you just put gas in it and it legit caught on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hit the ground, sparked.
Yeah.
And caught on fire.
Toast. And that's where the whole, well, it was before that. I posted a video on my Facebook of some of the stupid shit that we used to do on motorcycles. One of the shitters that I got before the R6.
Uh-huh.
And
one of the shitters,
standing on the seat and stuff, riding behind it, dragging power wheels behind the street bike on grass. Yeah,
that's all we got. Yeah, so we're just gonna use this.
Yeah, but we've had power wheels from age 13 up, you know.
Oh yeah, I would still do that. I'd do that tomorrow.
We'd find them, pull the gears out of them. You know that hill that goes by my grandma's house, that big hill.
Yep.
We'd ride down that.
That's a solid hill.
Crash into each other, and then once that got boring and not fast enough, I guess we had an X Factor jump at the bottom of it. We were doing that too.
Dude, yeah, that hurts the tailbone.
Yeah. Well, you'd blow the whole axle out and shit, and have to rebuild it with lumber and bullshit.
I did that too.
Yeah.
Dude, I took one and I hooked. So I had a buddy of mine, and the dude should have been an electrician. I'm not kidding you, but he took. We took a drill battery, and it wasn't a Power Wheels battery, but it was like, I don't know, something else, like some other
bigger battery.
Maybe even like a small mower battery. I don't know. It looked about the size of like a motorcycle battery.
Yeah.
We had two of those and a drill battery, and I was like, can we hook these things up to power this thing? He's like, oh yeah. And I don't remember how he did it. I mean, it couldn't have been too complex
Negative
because
positive.
I just
positive and negative.
Right. I just don't know. I don't think it would have like. I mean, the motor on that thing is kind of dinky, if I remember right. But anyways, it did burn it up at one point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But dude, I remember that thing. You could just and it would blast the tires off. And you get hauling ass on a Power Wheel. Man, we used to do that a lot. We did that. I had a little crotch rocket too. It was electric. And obviously I had rubber tires. And it was a legit, like, I mean, it was still probably like a kid's thing, but it was like this big, you know, like a pocket bike thing.
Oh yeah.
And we did that with that and hooked up a whole bunch of batteries and shit to it. And it would go like, it was like 30, I think 35 to 39, somewhere in there, which is really fast on that thing. And then it caught on fire.
Damn.
Yeah, it burned up.
Those had a bad chain noise, like gearbox noise too.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. And every now and then, I remember there was something that it would like, it burn up and then it would pop and it would lock the tire up and just like, pow, and just.
Did you come out of it?
No. This thing's like, hang on, because you're going to probably wreck this piece of shit. Yeah. But, man, dude, we did a lot of fun shit like that. Man, the crotch rockets.
We took those Power Wheels down that hill I was telling you about with the scooters.
Oh yeah.
That one by Troy's.
Uh-huh.
We took those Power Wheels down that, and you'd get going so fast that the tires would no longer keep up with how fast you were going. And
so it was just sliding.
You were just straight slide, and then you'd hit that bridge and get sideways going across it.
Oh
yeah, and then it's a huge
damn mirror come off. Yeah.
You and sink down into it. Hold on, man.
Dude, yeah, can you imagine, like, can you just imagine? I mean, obviously we're not that old, but you know, like, dude, kids don't do that shit anymore.
Oh man, they're missing out.
Yeah. Dude, big time. I remember even
But you can't blame them though, man. I mean, look, I mean, the phones are I mean,
right.
It's entertainment right now.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait. You don't have to look.
You don't have to go to your buddy's house and wonder if they're there.
Entertainment right now.
Yeah, and it's so odd. I don't know how it'll affect the future. Well, like, do you think everyone will be smart? Like, do you think that this generation's smarter than the previous generation?
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
You do.
I'm pretty sure there's statistics that show that
Really?
Yeah.
Overall intelligence.
We're a lot more of us are wussies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's more people are afraid of shit.
Yeah.
You know,
probably from not doing. You think from not doing?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. Especially as a kid, you're not exposed to anything like that. Snakes, spiders, fucking dirt, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know, you're not exposed to any of that, so you're gonna, you know, be afraid of everything. Can't fix anything. Well, I mean, nobody has any excuse for not being able to fix shit.
Yeah,
get on YouTube.
If you're watching this right now, figure it out and fix your shit.
Yeah, get on YouTube. Somebody has done it. Doesn't matter what the hell you're working on.
Yeah, my projector downstairs. I will have that thing fixed.
Yeah, somebody has done it. Yeah, that model, that thing, somebody's done it.
It's done, and they made a video about it. Isn't that crazy?
Perfect.
That is so nuts. Like it's so nuts. I remember when I was a kid, figuring out how to tighten up the chain on my bike, you know, and like I remember it was a game changer. Dude showed me how to
15 millimeter was the wrench.
Oh, was it really?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Every time. Don't use a 5/8. They'll round that bitch up every time.
That's probably how mine was. Because I remember I had to use vice grips on mine. Mine were all shitty.
Or pipe wrench. Get the old pipe wrench out.
Yeah, mine were all shitty and all rounded off. But I remember I'd always do the we always had a piece of rebar, and it's still here. Yeah. But I had this piece of rebar, and you'd put it behind the wheel. So you can really crank on it to get that thing tight as hell.
Yeah.
And then you get pedal, and you'd only do that for the shitty bikes to where they would always slide up on you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, the chain was super tight. You get to cranking on it, and it wouldn't it'd break.
If you ever land back wheel first, time to fix the old chain.
Dude, I used to hate that shit, man.
That fucking remember that jump out there, or that not jump? It wasn't actually a jump. It was a loading ramp for the shit at the Badlands.
Oh yeah.
I took an old junk ass Hoop D, brand new, had it for like a week. Took it off that the Mongoose Hoop D. Those things back in the day.
Those had mag wheels.
Yeah. No, it didn't. No, mine were spokes. Yeah.
Okay.
Had the big ass pegs on it that don't need to be on there.
Yeah, heavy.
Yeah,
heavy.
Took that thing off that. Back tire done.
Over.
Cooked it. Yeah.
Over.
First jump. Had it for like a few days, dude. Yeah.
Man, and like I remember being a kid, dude, not scared of shit. Like that's what's insane to me now. Like
always pushing it, and that's
always.
Always.
And then when you would fall, you wouldn't break.
Yeah.
You know,
and get up and do it again.
Yeah. I remember there was the jump at the ice plant, and me and all my buddies always called it the leap of faith. But there was and we would call it that because you couldn't see the ground, because at the ice plant, like where you would look out at was you would see the side of the car wash right there. You know where I'm at? And so there was the blocks that were like probably 18 inches or so, so maybe 2 feet, somewhere in there, tall, and then you would make it over those, but then it was like a 5-foot drop down onto the asphalt. And like, dude, if you missed that, or the back tire hit it or whatever, and you go over and your face hits the ground, it's a game over.
Yeah.
You're going to the hospital, you're done.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember we go down there and hit that all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
All day. Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
I remember that. We don't do that shit anymore.
Have you gotten on a bike lately?
Yeah,
wear your ass out.
Yeah, like
now.
my Trek, like it's a mountain bike, but it does.
Yeah.
And then
try to ride like
riding wheelies.
Yeah.
Dude, I got back into the game.
Yeah.
I can ride a wheelie now.
Oh, yeah.
I could ride a wheelie probably, well, for one, much further than however far you could ride a wheelie.
I 100% doubt that on any style of bike. Just what was it, 2-3 weeks ago, we were down at my buddy Sam's house, Douglas, and him, he was inside, he was doing something else. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He has a badass mountain bike, and just traded off for an even more badass one. We haven't been able to get on that one yet. But
could you ride a wheelie on it?
We it was me, Josh Seward, and Cameron Sheets down there, and I think it was Cameron's idea. Hey, let's get out here and
let's see, ride
try out some wheelies.
Yeah,
I won.
How far you think you could go? Like a block, 2 blocks?
It's probably what would it be? I don't know. Probably 3/4 the distance from the bottom of your hill to the top.
Well, pretty long way.
Yeah.
Long
now, and it's been a long time.
Right.
Last time.
Yeah.
And
were you sitting down?
Yeah.
Like seat?
Yeah. Sitting down. Yep. And Cameron pushed it. He dumper? And he went down, and I think his ankle is still pretty fucked up today. Like that.
That's what I'm saying. That never happened.
We were back down there for Thanksgiving, and he's like, "Man, my ankle was jacked." I'm like, no shit, dude.
Yeah, dude, that never happened back then, ever.
Yeah.
And man, I'll tell you. So it was last year. Me and Derek actually, and that dude can ride a bike.
Yeah.
So I got the
Derek's
Trek.
good at really a lot of shit.
Yeah. Everyone sells Derek short, I think, but he is good at a lot of shit. And so we get these bikes, right? And I'm like, dude, let's ride some wheelies. And he's like, all right. Derek is a good wheelier, like on just about anything, really. But I mean, specifically on the bikes. And so I got to the point to where I could ride, like honestly now, I bet I could ride a wheelie. Well, maybe not right now, but back when I was good, like, last year at that time when we were doing it all the time, I bet I could ride a wheelie for probably a good one for probably 2 blocks.
Yeah.
And like that was sitting down.
Using the brake.
Yep. Using the back brake.
Yeah.
Just easing into it, not
That's
going
what
fast.
I was doing down there in Indy.
Yeah, and like not the type of wheelie where the front's coming down, where you're chasing the front wheel.
Right.
It was like to the balance point where you're just nice and easy, just riding a wheelie. And so we got to that, and like we were doing really good. And then this girl that I was talking to at the time, she's like, "Hey, you guys should bring your bikes to the Covington Trail." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know what the Covington Trail is, but I'm in." So I load my bike up. It's just me at this time. I take my bike to this Covington Trail. Have you ever been on it? It's like this path that goes all the way around Covington. It's 6 miles. And I'm like, damn, it's kind of a trek, whatever. So I ride
I've seen it. I think I've seen it down there.
Yeah, like down by the bowling alley. Yep.
Yeah.
And through the park. So it goes from the park to the bowling alley, pretty much. And it's all on the outskirts of town. But so I was like, man, this is badass. So I rode one lap, and I did that for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then I was telling Derek about it, and I was like, dude, you want to go? And he's like, oh, I don't know, man, 6 miles. I don't know if I can ride that. He got there. We rode 2 laps. He did 12 miles on a bike, just like fresh out the gate. Yeah, that dude, he's a hoss.
Yeah.
Um,
but the old feather in the brake thing reminded me of something. Take that from a bicycle.
Yeah.
And move it to a street bike. That shit that I was doing.
I'm out, dude. I'm out. I'm not made for that.
The fastest wheelie I've done was
allegedly
like first and then shift into the second. Remember how we used to on the mountain bikes?
Yep. And you like, is it the same on a crotch rocket where you really got to bring her way back because it's going to come down?
No, because you got power.
Right.
You got the power to bring you back up. But it was on 04R1 and out on 55 by the golf course, the old golf course.
Oh yeah, on the other.
You have that flat, and then you go up the hill and then back down.
Yep.
The Winthrop area right there. Well, that long ass straight just before Pine Village, 120 in second. That bike would do like 85 in first.
Yeah,
crazy. There was a shirt that said, "Why have 6 gears when you could exceed any speed limit on Earth in first?" But I mean, those were I like doing those a lot. The high speed wheelies and stuff like that. Those were a lot of fun. But then we got into the slow game.
That's where I like that.
Stoppies, one-handed stoppies.
Yeah.
Circle wheelies.
Could you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We was really working on them. One of my old buddies, Justin Small, he's came a long ways, and he could probably maybe better than I am now. And I haven't done it, he would always get pissed about that. He was always one with the really good, the really good equipment or whatever, the good bike, all the nicest shit on it, and he'd always be practicing. He'd like,
show up on ragged out.
Try this. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Was your shit always ragged?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And he's like, come on, try this. Like, all right, did it. Like, what the hell, we were sitting on the handlebars, and he had a brake above his clutch pedal, so we had front brake, clutch pedal on the left, and a rear brake.
Like a clutch pedal?
I'm sorry, clutch.
Lever. Clutch lever.
Yeah, clutch lever on the left, and then a brake lever on the left for the rear brake.
2 levers.
Yeah, and then you'd have the front brake on your right. And
really?
Yeah, you could sit on the tank.
Yeah,
the tank had a nice dent in it. You sit on the tank, pull the front end up, and then you could control the wheelie with your hand on the left. Yeah.
Damn.
Using on the brake and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
That is insane. So they're probably all like that, or was that like
that's a stunt bike. It had a
right. That's what I mean. Like
yeah. Mine didn't have it.
No,
mine was a stunt bike. It had the cage and all that shit.
Yeah.
Ragged out. It was a stunt bike.
Yeah.
But it didn't have. You got to get another caliper and put it on the rear, and it has to have its own line.
Oh, so it had a whole separate setup.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Long brake line for all the way to the front there.
Yeah.
No kidding. Dude, that would be that's one thing I wish I could get into is stunt riding. Like obviously it's just a pit bike, but like I love it on the pit bike. Like just riding wheelies and shit,
Dude, you and I would at your old place would spend hours doing wheelies.
Yeah.
Just going I'll go a little further. I'll go a little further.
Yeah.
Down the street.
Like riding them up and down the stairs and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was a lot of fun.
But for me, the stunt thing, I mean, I'm more it's fun for sure. Yeah. But it eventually becomes the same thing. You're just doing the same thing.
Oh, and like just over and over.
You can move up, in stunts and whatever. But for me, I much more enjoy having a badass just rocket
fast.
Yeah, and pull the front tire up in second, third, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
On 465 or some shit.
Yeah.
And or just getting on it. That's where, and then taking corners and all that stuff. That's where the fun's at for me.
Yeah.
Because you can still do a wheelie, you can still do stoppies on them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then dirt bikes. I mean, that's. Did you ever have did you ever get into dirt bikes at all?
Well, so it was a piece of shit. The one that I had the JR50, obviously, but like then as we got a little bit older, it wasn't mine. It was my stepbrother's, and it was like an XR 100, I think. Had the metal tank. This baby's old, and I remember that we'd always have to put a BB in the carburetor, and it would like
What?
Yeah.
How did you figure that out first?
Well, we knew like where the choke was, and like there was just this little bit that if you just pry it up, and it was like, oh, it'll run right here.
Okay.
So it was about the diameter, and we just happened to have a box of BBs
the bowl
right there.
of the carburetor is full of BBs. This thing ain't running worth a shit anymore. We gotta use 3 BBs this time.
Welding them all together and shit, and mashed them in there. So we got
Dad's a good welder. There you go.
Yeah, your dad weld these damn BBs together. So we put these BBs in there though, and we got it to run, and then like, but dude, it was lame. Like you're riding around the yard, just like that was it. So that always kind of sucked. But no, I had a few 4-wheelers and shit growing up, but I never got in the dirt bike game much. I wasn't skilled enough for all that.
Yeah. One of the gnarliest dirt bikes I ever got on it's Scrimmager's uncle. It was probably 13, 14, something like that.
Yeah.
And his uncle got this 98 CR500.
Oh, dude, those the
gnarliest.
I've seen them, but I've never actually ridden a 500. I rode a CR250, but
he could never get it to start. His uncle
too much
could never
compression.
Start it. So I always had to go down and start it for him.
Like, couldn't kick it, right?
Yeah, he could kick it, but he just couldn't kick it hard enough, I guess, to get it to start.
Yeah.
And I would get it, not first try, but I mean, I would get it. It would kick back too.
Yeah,
it would get you. But one of the first times I rode that thing, just barely got on it on pavement, and the back tire came off the ground.
Oh shit!
Back right on my back, and the bike went. Yeah,
it's that powerful.
And he let me ride it once in a while after that, but he had this huge pasture that we used to do crazy shit with Power Wheels in.
Yeah,
behind a Jeep Cherokee.
Oh,
it's all in this video.
Like small Cherokee?
Yeah. We'd be up, hauling ass.
Just zinging them around.
But I'd be in that pasture. You get first, second, maybe third gear, and you're going like 65, 70, and no time flat. And you're trying to slow it down before you get to the trees. It's a highly intimidating bike, man.
Right. Really
cool though.
Yeah. Dude, I miss being young and like there's not giving a shit, like because you just do whatever, and like the thought of like physical consequences never entered. And then as you get older, you're like, damn man, I got like shit to do tomorrow. And I think it's such an odd thing, like just as you get older, like I can't imagine how it's going to be when I'm like 40. I'm not gonna want to get out of the house, or 50 or whatever.
Stretching, man. I haven't started doing it. I keep telling Brittany I'm going to start stretching.
Yeah, I thought about
like 10 minutes in the morning.
Dude,
get your ass on the floor.
I'm not shitting you. I looked into yoga.
Yeah.
I did some yoga, I think. And like try to help out my breathing a little.
Yeah. I'd do it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yoga or stretching. Yeah, that's got to be part of it.
Like, fucking having to help your leg up onto some shit,
Yeah.
It's because we're getting stiff, and the older you get, the more stiff you get, man.
Is that
staying ahead of that shit?
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you,
when we were kids, we'd be climbing on fucking everything.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have to worry about it because we did it every day.
Yeah. Dude, I can remember when I broke my leg, that's been shit probably 2-3 years ago. From being in like on bed rest or whatever, like I couldn't get out of bed, it seemed like, for like 2 or 3 months that I was like on bed rest or whatever. I had to piss in this jug, and I had to have my leg supported like a pillow under it at the knee, and then my leg snapped in half down here, broke the tibia and fibia both, and was all mangled up. But whenever I went to when I went to the hospital and they're like, okay, well, you can start putting pressure on this thing, blah blah blah, I got to the point where I couldn't, like my leg was stuck at an angle like
that's
that.
how mine was.
For a long time. And they're like, well, you need to go to physical therapy. And of course I'm like, I'm not going to that shit. And I looked it up on YouTube. I was like, what am I going to do? And so stretching, dude, like you'd have to like take your hands,
force it
and push on your, like on my knee. And I'm not talking like kind of push a little bit, like cranking on it way harder than I would have thought. And like, it kind of hurt, but it was more about like, dude, I'm pushing this thing as hard as I can. Like I'm going to break something. I thought, I just remember cranking on that thing, trying to get it straightened out. Yeah. That stretching shit's odd. Definitely important, I think.
My cast was the same way. I had, my leg was stuck like that,
the
angle on the knee.
Yeah. Would you break?
down here by my ankle. I was playing football, and some kid he was trying to take me down. I was in 8th grade, trying to take me down, and was pulling on my ankle and pushing against my leg. And
Oh,
then
shit.
another kid hit me from the other way.
Damn.
And it went thump, and that real deep, not like that real deep thud sound.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And I was on the ground, then went to set my leg down, and my foot touched before it was supposed to. So I knew it was all crooked and shit.
Right.
But and then I freaked out. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Were you really?
Oh yeah.
Shitting,
Everybody in the stands heard me. For sure. Oh yeah. I was flipping shit.
Did you cry?
Oh, for sure. Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I guarantee it. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I got to the hospital, and I think they gave me some shit. I don't know if it was my adrenaline was still going or not, but I do not remember any pain all the way up to the hospital. And got in the bed, and nurse was like, all right, we'll get you some pain medicine here in a minute, blah, blah, blah. Went and did her shit. Took forever.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, all right, dude, pain's starting to set in a little bit.
Yeah.
Pain's starting to set in a little bit. And I just got more and more pissed.
Yeah.
And I was like, where in the fuck is my pain medicine? Loud, dude. My mom would tell you today, dude, I was pissed.
Really?
They ran over. Oh, sorry. Sorry, here you go.
Yeah, they're just raising hell.
But I would, like, they would say, all right, you got to stay off your leg, just use your crutches, rub an ass. If anybody has crutches right now and listening, wrap the towel, the duct tape.
I never did that.
Oh, man,
but I wasn't on them a lot.
So much better.
Yeah, I've always heard that.
Towards the end of it, I was like, fuck these crutches, I ain't getting on them. I got to walk up to the front of the class and back,
Yeah, it's too much work.
And I would just you could put pressure on that leg.
Yeah.
Because the cast would support it.
Right.
Not supposed to.
Right.
But I did it so much that it wore half of the bottom of my cast was gone.
They probably knew them. They're like, this dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you what, with mine, so when I broke have you ever heard the story of me breaking my shit over here?
Mm-mm.
Dude, so I'm wrestling a buddy. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. He goes to like slam me down, and I stuck my leg out to catch it.
Mm-hmm.
And the force of getting slammed versus like my dinky little legs, dude, breaks tibia and fibula, like broke pretty much in the center of my leg about here, snaps in half. And dude, I'm not shitting. I thought that we fell into the coffee table that was in there. I thought we broke the table because you could hear it. Like you could hear both bones. It sounded like you took a group of sticks. Yeah. Like it sounded like multiple, but like just probably that long. And so I thought at that time,
because one broke and then
the other one broke. Yeah. And so I thought that we broke the coffee table because like you just hear, and I didn't feel it. And so I'm still wrestling. I'm on my back wrestling. And dude, like there's probably 15 people at the house. Maybe not 15 people. Probably 10. Everyone pretty much in unison starts screaming. And I'm like, oh shit. Like there's a difference when someone's like, oh shit, and like sheer panic of like, it sounds like someone just got shot in my living room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
Tell me everybody's not thinking right now of some skateboarding video, some fail video you watched where that guy's leg just goes
snap. Yeah. And so this is where it gets bad. So it breaks. I don't know it's even me broke yet. I didn't know. I didn't know what had happened. I thought maybe something. I didn't even know it was us. I thought it was just something in the house. And so then I hear a buddy of mine, Briles, he goes, stop. His leg's broke. Because I was getting ready to get slammed again on the broken leg, and I'm still fighting at that time because I didn't know. And so, and then all of a sudden, dude, I get let down onto the ground. Like I fall onto my back and I look down, and I'm not shitting you. Dude, my legs like folded up underneath me. It looked like I had two knees, like because it was like bent here and then it was bent again here. And so I'm like, oh shit, man. Well, then to top it off, it was also twisted. So my foot was like facing over here. God. Derek takes one for the team, and he comes over there. He's like, I don't know how he did it, man, honestly, but he's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine right now. What do I do? And he's like, I think they're calling 911 right now. I was like, well, okay, like, should we move this shit to get it straightened out, you think? He's like, which, looking back now, probably not. Wouldn't advise that. But regardless, that's what we decided to do. Yeah. And he's like, all right, dude.
I'll just go ahead and make a splint right here. What's the point going to the doctor?
Where's my ratchet straps? So he's like, all right, dude, lean over. So I lean onto my right side. So I got pretty much my left like ass cheek in the air. And he grabs my foot and then like rolls it over 180 degrees. So now it's over here, which is still not where it needs to be,
right.
you know, because it needed to be like 270.
Uh-huh.
And so but he flips it over and he's doing it real slow. He's like, is everything good? Is everything good? Is everything good? Yeah. And at this point, it's still back here though. And so he gets it like, you know, where it needs to be. And he's like, all right, dude, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna bring it out in front of you, and then I'm gonna hold it together. I'm like, all right, man. Like, I don't know how he did this. Like, this is so bizarre to me because I couldn't have done this.
Right.
There's no way. And so he grabs it and folds it out, and like you can feel and even hear the bones like going just like barely clicking together, and it sounds like a ratchet as it's coming out. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, damn, man. And then he holds my shit together, like, you know, because if he would let go, you know, from my heel to my knee is obviously going to bend a little bit. So then the leg's going to sit at an angle. So he holds it together until the EMTs get there. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to try to sit up against the wall. So I put my hands on the floor and I'm on my ass right now, but my back isn't up to the wall. And I'm trying to get my like tailbone area or the bottom of my back closer to the wall. So I put my hands down and then I kind of hunch my back up a little bit. And then I go to slide back like this. And when I do, I'm not shitting. I didn't realize how elastic your skin and everything is.
Oh my God.
Dude, stretches a lot. Like a lot. You know, the memory isn't very good on trauma.
It's probably way,
yeah. Like, but in my head, like I can remember seeing it stretch like 8 inches. I don't think it's 8 inches, but I remember that it stretched out a very long ways. And I just looked at Derek, and I'm not shitting you. You can ask him. I just looked down at him. I'm like, well, that's not real good now, is it?
Yeah.
And he's just like, holy shit, dude. Yeah. And then like the EMTs got here.
That was as far as Derek's knowledge went, was to switch it around.
Get the shit straight. And that was it.
That was into Derek's training.
That was over. It was over, dude.
He skipped the rest of the class after that.
Yeah, man. And I'm like, you know, and at that point the EMTs get here and then they put me in the back of the ambulance and then off to the hospital, and I had to go in for like immediate surgery. They drilled a hole through my knee all the way down to my ankle and then beat have you seen that? You know, like they beat, like it's like a pretty rudimentary way of doing something. I mean, they're really just
like
switch hitting.
I've been working on the
rest. Yeah, dude. And so I even asked the guy, it was on my last, I asked the surgeon, not the doctor, the dude that did the shit to me. The guy was rarely in there, but he came on my last time that I was in there. And I'm like, look, dude, and this guy didn't say much. I don't know if you ever talked to a surgeon or a doctor, but they're never like, they're always weird, it seems.
Right, yeah.
And this dude was definitely odd, but he was nice. And of all people to get, I would say to get this dude. But I asked him, I was like, dude, I seen the movie, or not the movie, I seen the video on YouTube or wherever it was of them taking, it looked like in a foreign place, but maybe not, don't know. But old cat had like a 5-pound mini sledge, and he's beating this thing, and then he starts switch hitting, and now he's on the left hand, and then he hands it off to his homie and lets his homie blast this thing in this dude's leg. I was like, is it really like that everywhere? Is that like third world shit? And I only asked because I had the surgery.
No, we actually have a jackhammer that we use.
Yeah, dude. And I'm like, the only reason I ask is because I'm like bruised. So my shit is broke, like closer to my ankle than my knee, a far amount down the leg. I'm bruised after surgery, not before, after surgery, up to like my groin. Yeah. Dark purple, like real bruise. And so I'm asking him, I was like, you know, is that what you guys do? And he looked at me and he like kind of smiled and shook his head. I was like, was mine a bad one? And he like, you could tell they must have really had to beat the shit out of mine.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it seemed like there was a part that was ground off. Like after the fact, somebody had like rubbed the two bones together. There was actually a vein that had cut in there too. And
that's what I was waiting on. Yeah, like I'm like, you know, and so
good thing you got here when you did.
Dude, this guy was nuts though, man. And so I asked him, I was like, so what does it entail doing this? What they do is they have a bit and they drill it down the bone.
Yeah.
All the way down. This is where shit gets a little iffy to me. They drill it down, they bring it out. He said they have what looks like a clothes hanger. They run it down, hit it with a Sharpie so they know how deep they are and bring her back out. I'm like, that's the best tech you got? You don't have like a depth gauge or anything? Like you're running a clothes hanger down my leg and you're hitting it with a Sharpie. So they do that. Then they figure out how long to make this rod. And then here's where shit gets also kind of insane, is they said that the hole in diameter is 2 millimeters shorter. So it's a press fit.
Right.
But 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like a penny.
Yeah, you might have to take a sledgehammer and drive it.
Yeah, I'm like 2 millimeters. Like, dude, do you realize, like, I'm surprised this shit doesn't crumble around 2 millimeters.
Bust. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, you guys are insane.
Well,
and
the
then,
older you get, the we probably only go 0.5 millimeter.
yeah.
Because it's a lot more brittle.
You just got lucky. Your shit's kind of soft still, young lad.
80 years old, we just kind of were able to push it in with our hand because it's about the same
we
size.
knurl the rod and it just yeah, so that was nuts, man. It was crazy. I don't wish to go back and do that. But I guess what made me think of that was the pain thing. I didn't feel any pain at all. The doctor asked when I got there, they called him in on his time off, and he's like, "Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your pain?" I was like, "I don't know, like a 4." It really wasn't that bad. It was bad. It was by far the worst when they had me on the little plastic board getting ready to take me out. Dude, they didn't support my foot, and my leg was like hanging off the bottom of it. And so when they picked the thing up, my foot fell off the bottom, like, and so my leg, where it was broke, it was like snapped back. And dude, like, I'm talking by far the worst pain I've ever had. I screamed as loud as I could scream, and there was like, it wasn't even doing anything, obviously, but I just remember thinking, I just can't take any more of this pain. Like, I couldn't, I mean, obviously if you have to, you have to, but in my mind, I was like, I can't do this any longer. And it was nuts. It was the worst pain I've ever felt by far.
I've heard burn victims are, that's pretty wild shit.
I bet that is. I've never been burnt. Like not really.
They got to scrub the wounds and shit, and there's like, you can hear people in other rooms like,
oh, like scream.
Yeah, because they got to take off the old scab, or you fall asleep and you become a scab, and then you sit up and you rip off
your
whole back and shit.
Yeah, like I've had some road rash that's like that. You just move one way,
or you stand up and then the blood goes back to
yeah.
And like, oh my god. Or the shower, hitting it. Oh yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I bet that is awful. I remember I wrecked another moped.
Yeah.
And I was railing around this corner I was right down there by Troy's at the T. I was on it was a nice moped. It was a Malibu 150. Come 150? Around 150, big dog.
Damn.
Yeah, 2 up. I even had the little secondaries for the passenger for the feet. And I was railing around this turn, and I was like, I'm Mario Andretti on this bitch. And I was leaning with it, and I was really getting it, and there's like that bank right there, and I felt like I had it. And then all of a sudden I just hear so it had 2 kickstands. It had the like the folder, and then it had the big dog, the stand.
Can't ever get it up on that. Get it up on that. Oh, missed it. Get it up on that son of a bitch.
Yeah, that stand, dude. And so all of a sudden it's dragging the stand, and I hear it back there just, and I'm going so fast. I mean, this thing went like 60. And so, and I'm not lifting on this 90, I'm railing this thing, and I'm like, I got it. And then like, I have to lean more, or I'm not going to make the turn. I'm going to hit that guardrail. So I'm leaning, and it's grinding worse and worse, but I don't have a choice, because it's either grind it more or run it into this damn guardrail. And I can't hit the brakes because it's already too late. So I lean it. All of a sudden, stand hits, back tire comes off the ground, dude. I'll wrap immediately. Bikes, dude. It was cycloning, and for whatever reason, my stepdad had everything under the seat, like a socket set, like a 52.
Just in case you wrecked by hitting the kickstand on the ground, he's got what you need to fix it.
Dude, he had a 52-piece Stanley in there. Sockets and shit are scattered everywhere. Yeah, and like ratchet straps and coats and sunglasses and shit. And I remember a car drove by and it looked like a fucking plane crashed out there. And I was like, dude, I hope nobody's seen this, man. I really hope nobody's seen it. Then Cole Weaver rode by on his dirt bike, and I acted like I meant to wreck it, like one of those things, like, yeah, I did it, dog. What's up? Yeah, he felt
just
like
practicing crashing.
Just
that way, if I ever actually do, we're good.
Yeah, that was exactly it, man. I felt like the world's biggest dumbass, and here he is riding by. Yeah, felt real cool. Yeah, just practicing crashing, partner.
We used to crash. I mean, I used to crash all the time, and there was a skill behind it,
dude. You got to roll.
Watch somebody crash, and they really eat shit. You're like, dude, why did you fall that way?
Why did you do that? Yeah. Skateboarding was like that.
Yeah,
skateboarding, you always wanted to kind of roll onto like not hard parts of your body. You don't want to hit elbows or wrists or fingers. Just onto maybe like the back or like the hips. That was always popular. On a bike though, I always wanted to you want to slide, start rolling, dude. You're breaking bones.
Don't get tangled up in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm practicing crashing.
Yeah.
Damn, I was practicing crashing too. That was awful. Me and another buddy took that same moped and was ripping this baby up down some alleys, and got some speed wobbles and lost it. You ever wrecked into a chain link fence?
No.
Yeah, dude, it'll tangle you up now. It's immediate stuff, dude. It got so tangled up in the fence we couldn't get it out.
Oh
I was like, dude, we gotta go. They're gonna be outside, and like it's like midnight, and wherever you're, but the ped's still there.
Yeah, tires spinning.
Yeah, where you're like cranking on the handlebars trying to get this thing off, and it was awful. It was hung up on the side, the folder. The folder.
Damn, you should just cut that fucker off.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Brink says you both are lucky to be alive.
Oh,
I would say he's right, dude.
We haven't had enough time to tell all the stories. Jesus.
Yeah, these are like the mild ones too, I think.
Well, let's get into one more here. One of my buddies brought something up. Been doing doors now for 10 years. And one of the guys who I started with.
Shout out to Overhead Door.
Yeah, I own and operate my own business, Wabash Overhead Door.
Holla.
We're here local. Been doing it for 4 years. Been in business for 4 years now. But when I was working for another company before I started my own thing, I don't know. I feel like I've always been the guy that I've been a company man,
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to say no to the boss. Like, hey man, we need somebody to get in here and do this, All right, man.
I'm in.
All right, I'm in. No questions asked. I'm the guy that you can count on.
Right.
I'm that way with my friends, my family.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's ever a 2:00 in the morning thing, call me up and I'll answer.
And got you covered.
My phone's doing this thing now that it puts it on silent at night. I haven't changed it yet. I'm getting kind of. I'm probably gonna shut it off though.
Yeah.
Just in case somebody calls. But we were working down at some horse track or something like that, putting some doors in, and it was like a 2-3 hour drive, and we didn't want to have to drive all the way down there and drive all the way back. So we took, and then like we didn't want to make it a 2-day thing. We would just get this shit all done one day.
Yeah.
We don't have to go back.
Right. Do or get her done.
And went down there, worked for like 14 or 15 hours, something like that, and was driving back, and it was his turn to drive, and seatbelt on. No seatbelt, no seatbelt. Yeah, I was sitting in the passenger seat. He's driving. I'm falling asleep, and I hear the rumble.
Like dark.
I think so.
Yeah. I
hear the rumble strips, and I wake up. Like, you all good, man? Because he has to be falling asleep.
Right. Got to be.
And I just sat up, put my seatbelt on.
Really planning for the best. Really?
Just in case. Yeah. Tired as hell, dude.
Yeah.
Tired as hell.
Threw the seatbelt on.
Yeah. Made it home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No issues. Dude, that's awesome. Threw the seatbelt on. I've rode with people before, and it's like, I don't think so, Playboy. Like, you ever ride with guys that think they can drive, and then they're like want to show it off.
If there's any of those guys listening right now, watching, this is who you have. We're doing some cool stuff, a lot of fun. You can.
If you are I want you here. I don't want to keep you up too late. It's 11. Yeah, we've hit it for an hour. You want to hold you up?
How many we got listening? Yeah.
All right, man, let's wrap this up then. All right, so I'd like to shout out some of the sponsors, man. Thank you guys, Ramers, the Clearance Aisle, Broadwater Group, Attica Vapors, Wild Graphics. I've also got a new one, Bobcat of Lafayette, man. Thank you guys. You guys have done a lot, and I'm really happy to work with you guys. And County Market as well, man. You guys have really helped pull all this stuff together. I'm very excited about it. And you can find this podcast if you are wanting to listen to it and you don't want to watch it on Facebook Live. It's now available on iTunes or your actual podcast app on your phone. If you don't have an iPhone, it's available on Spotify, which is universal, or you can even find it on Stitcher. And if you can't find any of those, you can go to my website, and the links to all three are at the bottom of the website. And my website is brandonbriles.com. First and last name. Easy to find. Got anything else? Check out Overhead Door. You got anything
Check
else?
out Wabash Overhead Door. You can find us on Google, Facebook.
Holla. Leave them a good review.
We got a Snapchat. I'm not too active on it. But we're going to start posting more stuff on there.
Hell yeah.
Greatest deals around. Worked for a door company. Know what people, know good prices. And I think I was one of the best guys up there, and you get Lafayette quality work or workers at a local price.
Hell yeah. And Warren County Creations now too. I just left from there actually before I got here. I'm really excited to show some of the things that we're going to be putting out this year. My dad's behind a lot of it, and there's a lot of big things in the works, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. My dad's got an Instagram now too, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, but he's got a Facebook, Instagram, and you can find all his stuff on warrencountycreations.com as well. So thank you guys. If you can, please share this video too. That really does help out. And I think that's all I got. You got anything else?
Happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. It's a wrap. Talk to y'all soon.